Hi everyone, this is Bug-S Reviews, and today I'm going to be doing a review on the Marvel Legends Thanos build-a-figure. So let's go ahead and hop right on into this review. So looking at the head sculpt, I think it looks very accurate to what we see in the movie. I think it looks really nice. A lot of people don't like it though, and I'm not really sure why. Because people have said that he looks like a California raisin, and you know, it's been crazy what people have called him, and the countless memes that have been made of him. People didn't like the fact that he's smiling, but I think that just makes this figure look a lot creepier. Like, a villain that smiles is kind of unsettling, you know? My only complaint is the eyes. The eyes just look spotty, and you really can't even tell they're his eyes. They almost look completely white. Like, from back here, it looks fine, but you get really up close and you can't tell. It's just really, really spotty. And mine has an extra piece of plastic right there left over from the factory. And he has a little bit of marbleization going on his skin. I think that's kind of odd that he has that shiny skin, but it really doesn't bother me, you know. Looking pretty good. Very accurate to what we've seen in the trailers. And I am actually going to see this tonight. My theater is having like a special early showing of it tonight, and I will be watching this tonight. The only thing I found that's really inaccurate about this figure is right here on his armor, on his chest and shoulder area right here. It should be more of a gold color, kind of like the Infinity Gauntlet. This is kind of more of a, I don't know what you call it, like maybe a champagne color. But that should be a little more golden. But that's not a huge deal. I like the texturing going on his torso as well. You can hear how it sounds when you rake your finger across it. Oh, just about knocked my camera over here. But his arms look really nice. How they have those lines down them. Looks pretty good. And I do wish that Hasbro would start doing like Mattel and release some add-on figures that come with extra pieces. Like, I want a snarling Thanos head and an open Infinity Gauntlet hand. That would have been really awesome. Now that Infinity Gauntlet looks very, very nice. It's got a lot of sculpting detail to it. It's got the marbleization as well as the shininess going on. There you have all of the Infinity Gems, which, mild spoiler alert, leads me to believe that he does get all of them in the movie. I mean, if you have this figure, you already know that he has all the gems in his gauntlet. I want to know where the Soul Stone's at. That's the thing that's bothering me. But I guess, I'll learn everything tonight when I go see the movie. But yeah, that looks really nice. Like I said, it would be cool if they would have given him like an alternate hand. Like an alternate open hand. That would have been cool. But we did not get that. Now he has this tunic piece right here. And it kept shifting up and down on me and irritating me, so I did glue it down. Because it would hinder his articulation. Because it's actually supposed to stay right here above his waist. And it wasn't, it kept slipping down. So now he has full range of motion at his waist since I glued that down. I also like his pants because it kind of looks militaristic. I think that's honestly how Thanos looks. A lot of people didn't like that he wasn't armored, like in the comics, or, you know, armored like in the Guardians of the Galaxy movie, I mean. Or had a comic-inspired outfit. But I kind of like this. It looks very militaristic, you know. I've heard rumors that we will see Thanos in armor in the movie, but I really like this look for him. And there's his boots, his really big boots. The knee pads kind of remind me of Thor's boots from Thor the Dark World. But, yeah. And then there's the back of him. His tunic piece right here has a little bit of sculpting detail and texturing right there. Looking pretty good. That's about all to go over with this figure, you know. He has a pretty tall Build-A-Figure. He's not as tall, you know, as I'd like. I think he should be just a little bit taller, but that doesn't bother me. He's still taller than a lot of the figures I have. So now let's go over the articulation. He's got a ball-jointed head that can look back just a little bit. It can look down all the way. He can move his head side to side. He's got ball-jointed shoulders that can move out all the way except for his left, because when you go to move it out, it does that. And it's a really long story. I won't tell it in this review, but I actually have 2 of these Build-A-Figures, and the other one is the same way. This arm just pops off, so I think this is kind of the same thing. That's my only complaint with this figure, is the arm is very loose. Like, you can see just moving it up like that, and it comes out. So that does bother me. He's got swivel at the bicep, single-jointed elbow that can only bend in that far. His other elbow can bend in just a little bit further because he doesn't have the gauntlet on. The gauntlet does take up a little bit of room right there. He's got swivel to wrist that can move side to side and up and down. He's got an ab crunch that can move back all the way and can crunch down all the way. He's got swivel to waist that can move side to side. Ball-jointed hips that can just about do a Thanos split. He can kick forward all the way. He can only kick back that far due to his tunic being there. He's got swivel at the thigh, double-jointed knee. Now, his knee right here is a little tricky. Might have to boil it. Oops. Must not have had his arm in all the way. But the double-jointed knee on his left leg works perfectly. So this is a little stiff. I just don't want to force it right now. He's got swivel at the ankle and an ankle rocker. So the articulation is really good on this figure. It's better than what I expected, honestly. And you can just about get him in a split. I don't know when I'll actually have him posed doing a split, but I like when figures can do that for some reason. So there he is in a pose similar to what we saw on the Infinity War poster. And now I'm going to do size comparisons. So I'm going to go ahead and show from my least favorite to favorite out of the wave. Now, usually I say, like, you know, a lot of the figures are my favorite in the wave, and I'd really like most of them. But I actually have a few I didn't like in this wave. So here he is next to the least favorite figure of mine in the wave. Let's just lean him against Thanos right there. Nope, that's going to knock him over. But here he is next to Cobra, my least favorite figure out of the wave. Here he is next to Songbird, my second least favorite out of the wave. I have to hold her up because she has that huge effect, and she's really top heavy too, so she, even without the effect, so she'll just fall over. Up next is Iron Man, which I like the figure, but I think it could have been better, and I do think he should be a lot taller. So let's see if he's going to stand now. I don't know if he's going to stand or not. Okay, there he is next to Thanos, and he should be a little bit taller. You know, he should be probably about up to here. Thanos. But he's not. So that did bother me. Up next is Iron Spider. And I actually did go over this figure with a little bit of a gloss coat to make him look more metallic. And this figure didn't have any accessories, which was my major complaint with him. Up next is Taskmaster. Okay, I'm looking at the figures that I'm doing the size comparisons to, and I just noticed that I forgot Proxima Midnight. Well, I'll have to stick it in at the somewhere in this video, you know. So I'll be able, or I'll try and do that because I forgot her. She's my second favorite figure out of the wave, though. The top 3 figures are Taskmaster, Proxima. Okay, so here is Thanos next to Proxima Midnight. Now, I'm actually adding this in after the review because I forgot to add it during the review. I forgot to get Proxima out. So, here she is, just adding this in right now so you can see that. Out. The head wasn't too great on it, the one that it came with, but it wasn't a bad figure. I still think it's a really good figure as is. I just decided to mod it some. So, in order, that's my favorite figure, least favorite to favorite figure out of the wave. Okay, and now here's some more size comparisons. Here he is next to the basic Black Widow figure. He's a lot taller than her. Here he is next to Vision. I have quite a few figures to show next to Thanos, just because I really want to. They look really awesome next to Thanos. Here he is next to Scarlet Witch. She gonna stand up? Yeah, she'll stand up. Here he is next to Loki. And see, this, I think that Iron Man should have been about this height. You know, because he's a lot shorter than most characters, and he shouldn't be. So there he is next to Loki. Here he is next to Thor. Now, I just customized this one to give him the eye patch. I just made it out of clay and a clear rubber band. Honestly, it kind of blends in. Right there, you can see where the paint ran. And it's on the rubber band. Here he is next to Doctor Strange, who doesn't want to stand up because of that heavy cape. And I have 5 more figures to show next to Thanos. Here he is next to Drax. I hope they get a really awesome showdown in Infinity War, you know. I want them to get a really big, epic fight scene. I want everyone to get a fight scene, you know, with Thanos. I think everyone deserves a chance to go at him. Here he is next to Star-Lord. This is the Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 Star-Lord. I think he's wearing the short jacket in Infinity War, not this long one. I don't know how he changes them. You know, some scenes he'll be in the short one, some scenes he'll be in the long one. Here he is next to one of his daughters, Nebula. And they look more alike, even though they're not actually related. But they do look more alike. Here he is next to his favorite daughter, Gamora. And again, I'm hoping that Nebula and Gamora will get some awesome scenes with Thanos. That'll be cool to see. Here he is next to the Marvel Legends Age of Ultron Hulk. And the size is not correct on these two. Hulk should be way bigger than Thanos. I think the Marvel Select Hulk that I have would be a lot better scale to Thanos there. But there he is, if you were curious. And for my final size comparison, since I basically took a figure out of all of my displays to show here. Here he is next to the comic Thanos. And you can see how the gauntlets look in the comic and in the movie. And this is kind of the look that people wanted him to have in the movie. This kind of armored look. But I'm fine with him having the look that he has right here. I like it just fine. So overall, I would highly recommend this Thanos Build-A-Figure. And if you were a skeptic, like I know a lot of people were, don't be, because it's a lot better in person. The eyes do look really funny still, but overall, I think it's a really awesome Build-A-Figure, and I would highly recommend it. Maybe skip out on Cobra and Songbird if you just want the pieces to them. That's my bit of advice. And maybe Iron Man, since he doesn't come with a piece at all. But overall, I'd highly recommend this Build-A-Figure. So that's my review. And if you like this review, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching.